Advertisement You've got trust issues. It's understandable. Recent years haven't been kind to our naive, blissful worldview that all software developers are looking out for our best interests. Whether it's Windows spying on you, or your browser compromising your privacy, there are good reasons to be cautious. Fortunately, there is a way to return to our digital utopian ideals of a safer and more secure internet for everyone. Open source software and tools. Point 1. MonicaSocial networking was never supposed to be about government propaganda. Don't be fooled. How to spot a Russian bot on social media. Don't be fooled. How to spot a Russian bot on social media. How can you know if the person you're passionately debating with online is a real person and not a Russian bot? Use these guidelines. Read more. Privacy scandals. Facebook is recording more about you than you think. How to see your own data. Facebook is recording more about you than you think. How to see your own data. There's no doubt about it. Facebook knows more about you than you do. Read more. Instead, its aim was to simplify keeping up with your friends, including those you don't see regularly. Even then, remembering names, important dates, and other information about all the people you meet feels like an impossible task. Businesses recognized this years ago, creating customer relationship management (CRM) software to record details of their customers to provide better service. But what if there was a personal CRM to help you improve your relationships and keep you in control of your confidential data? Monica is an open-source personal CRM, designed to help you keep track of the people in your life. Using the web-based app, you can add notes about a person's family, track how often you contact them, schedule reminders, and even track gifts you have shared with them. The dashboard keeps you up to date with an overview of planned events and tasks related to your contacts. Monica even has a journaling feature for you to document your life, and even improve your mental health. Apps for both iOS and Android give you on-the-go access to your data. If you find yourself reluctant to share this much data with their servers, you can opt to self-host Monica. Point 2. OpenSO before 2014, secure socket layers (SSL) and transport layer security (TLS) were mostly unheard of outside of developer and security circles. Then, one of the web's significant security vulnerabilities was discovered: Heartbleed. It affected an estimated 17% of servers running OpenSO to provide secure connections to websites. Although Heartbleed was picked up by news outlets spreading panic, the vulnerability was patched the same day it was disclosed. The response time was fast by any measure, made all the more impressive by the size of the OpenSO team. The development group consists of just 13 people, 10 of whom are volunteers. OpenSO was first founded in 1998 as a fork of the now-defunct open-source project Soli. From its humble origins, it has gone on to become the standard for web server encryption. Not long after the Heartbleed disclosure, Google forked OpenSO to create BoringSol. Although the project is open source, they explicitly warn people not to use it over OpenSO, as they forked it specifically for their own use. Point 3. Onion share. Sending large files over the internet can still be a challenge for the privacy-conscious. Cloud storage services have made it easier than ever to share your files. 3 ways to share files with others who don't have cloud accounts. 3 ways to share files with others who don't have cloud accounts. What's the simplest way to share files with others? Here are several ways that'll come in handy whether you or the recipient don't have cloud accounts. Read more online, but often leave you trading privacy for convenience. Options exist to share files without additional software. The 15 best ways to share files with anyone over the web. The 15 best ways to share files with anyone over the web. There are many ways to share files between people and devices. With these 15 tools, you can share files quickly without app downloads, account registrations, or any cloud storage setups. Read more, but also require you to upload your data to a third-party server. Sure, you could use a service like Takefile, which lets you share files without uploading to any third-party servers. But if anonymity and security are high on your wish list, then you may use Onion Share. Not only is it open source, but it makes use of the Tor network Really Private Browsing, an unofficial user's guide to Tor. Really Private Browsing, an unofficial user's guide to Tor. Tor provides truly anonymous and untraceable browsing and messaging, as well as access to the so-called deep web. Tor can't plausibly be broken by any organization on the planet. Read more to securely and anonymously share files. The software, available for Linux, macOS, and Windows, creates a dedicated web server on the Tor network. Dragging a file into the window creates a unique, onion URL to share with the recipient. Your files are hosted only on your computer, so the data is kept out of any third party's hands. To download the file, the recipient does need to open the link in a Tor browser, so this may not be an option for everyone. That said, if you want your files to remain secret, this is a worthy alternative. Point 4. Openvpn. May 2018, researchers for Cisco's Talos intelligence group uncovered evidence of malware targeting routers around the world. They estimated that as of May 24, 2018, VPN filter had infected over 500,000 routers. Malware exploited the firmware found on many popular routers that still use the default login credentials. Of course, it's not the first time routers have been a security risk. 7 simple tips to secure your router and Wi-Fi network in minutes. 7 simple tips to secure your router and Wi-Fi network in minutes. Is someone sniffing and eavesdropping on your Wi-Fi traffic, stealing your passwords and credit card numbers? Would you even know if somebody was? Probably not, so secure your wireless network with these 7 simple steps. Read more. But VPN filter did show that routers still pose a threat to your security. Your router's firmware is often cause of these vulnerabilities. It is likely developed, but woefully undersupported, by your ISP. Openvpn is an open-source Linux-based firmware. What is Openvpn and why should I use it for my router? What is Openvpn and why should I use it for my router? Openvpn is a Linux distribution for your router. It can be used for anything an embedded Linux system is used for. But would it suit you? Is your router compatible? Let's take a look. Read more. Developed for embedded devices like routers. It has an inbuilt web interface and is generally considered more stable than most router firmware. If the router improvements aren't enough to convert you, then its other features may. From monitoring network traffic, running a BitTorrent client, and configuring a network-wide VPN, there's plenty to explore. Although there is currently no evidence that Openvpn would have explicitly protected you from VPN filter, it would have at least ensured you weren't using the default username and password. Point 5. Openvpn Virtual Private Networks. 10 reasons why you should be using a VPN. 10 reasons why you should be using a VPN. Virtual private networks are affordable and easy to use. Along with a firewall and antivirus, anti-malware solution, here's exactly why you should have a VPN installed. Read more. VPNs have been a staple of corporate IT systems for decades. The first place many of us will have come into contact with VPNs is through our workplace. These days they are more commonly used as privacy tools. 4 reasons to always use a VPN when you're online. 4 reasons to always use a VPN when you're online. VPNs, virtual private networks, are becoming more popular. It's not always clear exactly why you should be using one though. Here's why you should use one whenever you go online. Read more. Helping us combat censorship and keep data away from prying eyes. The spike in interest for VPNs over has led to an explosion of new providers. There are now free services. 7 completely free VPN services to protect your privacy. 7 completely free VPN services to protect your privacy. If you're looking for a free VPN, the choices are currently limited, with many services switching to a paid model. These free virtual private networks can be used to avoid region blocking and more. Read more. Premium providers. The best VPN services. The best VPN services. We've compiled a list of what we consider to be the best virtual private network VPN service providers, grouped by premium, free, and torrent friendly. Read more. And VPNs for Netflix. Which VPNs still work with Netflix? Which VPNs still work with Netflix? Netflix is trying to stop people accessing its service through VPNs, but a handful of VPNs are managing to stay one step ahead of the streaming giant. Read on to find out which ones. Read more. Openvpn, which was first released in 2002, is an open-source VPN protocol. It supports all major platforms including Linux, macOS, and Windows, with mobile apps available for Android and iOS. Although many VPN providers have their native apps, those aren't always available on every platform, making Openvpn an ideal alternative. You may also have multiple VPN configurations for work, home, and other specific uses, which you can store and connect to through the Openvpn client. Connect your smartphone to almost any VPN using Openvpn Connect. Connect your smartphone to almost any VPN using Openvpn Connect. A VPN can help protect your data on the move. But what if your VPN provider doesn't offer an app? Here's how to set up almost any VPN on your smartphone using Openvpn Connect. Read more. Openvpn uses 256-bit encryption via OpenSSL to protect your data in transit. A typical use for VPNs is to bypass firewalls, like the Great Firewall of China, and Openvpn excels here too. By cloaking your data to make it appear like regular internet traffic, it can circumvent deep packet inspection. As Openvpn is open source, developers are encouraged to submit bug reports to improve the protocol. It also allows commercial projects to be spun off, like Private Tunnel, which is developed by Openvpn Inc. Open source for everyone. Scrutiny is important. If someone walked up to you on the street and promised to store your money securely, you probably wouldn't take them at face value. Yet tech companies continue to convince us to hand over our data, despite constant reminders that we can't trust them. Open source software isn't a panacea for all our data woes, but it does mean we can be more informed about where to place our trust. There's more to the open source movement than just file sharing though. Linux is one of the most successful open source projects of all time, with plenty of distributions to choose from. But you don't need to change operating systems to delve into the open source rabbit hole. From browsers, to Windows tools, and cross-platform apps, there's a whole world to explore. If installing a few apps isn't radical enough for you, then you could always consider going all in and living a free and open source life. Your complete guide to living a 100% free and open source life. Your complete guide to living a 100% free and open source life. Windows and macOS are commercial, proprietary, closed-source operating systems. Linux, and its many applications, are free and open source. Want to use only free and open source software? Here's how. Read more.